so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Salam alaikum. My name is Nikola. I'm a professor of marketing at the Prince Mohammed bin Salman College. We are based in King Abdallah Economic City. And it's my pleasure today to talk about customer experience in education. I will try to talk to you about I will cover with you three things, hopefully. One is the importance of higher education. I will look a bit about the student experience in higher education, and I will conclude with an example of how we use customer experience in the Prince Mohammed bin Salman College, where we talk about admissions of students. It's one of the key processes by which we engage with our students. And why I chose the importance of higher education is because today, actually, I don't know if how many of you know, but it is the education all over the world. And one of the best places where we celebrate education, of course, is in Saudi Arabia. Education is one of the cornerstones of the Vision 2030. And for 2024, the new budget, we are spending 195 billion riyals for education. This is bigger than the GDP of nearby countries like Jordan, like Bahrain. And the way we engage with that in the kingdom is through the Human Capability Development Program, where we are trying to develop students who will be academically, internationally qualified, confident for international careers. This is one of the ways by which the kingdom can progress all the Vision 2030 pillars and, of course, shine not only locally, not only regionally, but also internationally. And this is an agenda not only important for Saudi Arabia. It's an agenda which is important for all over the world. And I will show you, a small video now, a very brief video, to see how higher education in particular is taken into account in my previous institution when I came from the United Kingdom. This is hopefully it will work, is a brief video. Is vying for position, for strategic positioning in the world of education, to attract the better students, the better able students, and provide them with an experience that will create, at the end of the day, the talent that all the industries, the government, the society is needing in order to make that difference. Obviously, how we recognize these skills and competences that will come up hopefully soon from the World Economic Forum that is discussing the future of jobs and talent. And the future of jobs and talent is not rosy all along. Why? Because the green economy, I think they might be putting it through. You want to try again? So I will move on. The video, will come to you. So all the things that I was saying, all the things is, everyone in the world right now is wondering about what the future will be. In education, we provide skills and competencies for the future. But it's the first time, at least in my lifetime, that we face, this paradox that academics and industry and governments alike, they cannot predict the future skills and competencies. We simply don't know. We don't know what the future talent should be using. We cannot describe it very, very well. Of course, what's happening, as I was saying to you, this World Economic Forum report that came just a few months ago, what they said that the future is not very rosy. The green economy is creating opportunities for new jobs, However, technology, as we understand it will actually support the creation of new jobs, but at the same time, it will reduce the need for a lot of jobs that we are aware of now. And overall, an economic outlook which doesn't look very good internationally, it will create additional pressure for better skills, better competences in various places. And the different economies, including the economy of Saudi Arabia, at the end of the day, you will have to compete on those skills, advanced skills and competences. So what are these things? Again, the same report in the World Economic Forum for 2027, they actually predict that the skills, the new skills and the new competences that we will require have to do with analytical thinking, have to do with creativity, have to do with curiosity, has to do with leadership and influence. And based on those, this is a report that came up very recently. In Saudi Arabia, we have done a lot of work to try to anticipate some of those skills and competences, try to develop our people to be internationally competent. I'll show you how we do that in Saudi Arabia. Again, from the Human Capability Development Program, we are trying to develop what we call their globally competitive citizens. And this global perspective and the competitive element is translated into specific skills and competences out of the Human Capability Development Program published back in 2021. We are ahead of the curve here. We are ahead of the curve. But that is only the beginning. What we need to do here, we need to understand how the students, or the students that we are trying to develop, appreciate this kind of skills and competences. And some of the earlier speakers, they talked about changes in the customer experience trajectory. Initially, we were talking about processes, we were talking about costs and benefits. Nowadays, what we are talking in customer experience, we are talking about value. What is the value that we, as educational institutions, we provide to our stakeholders, in this case, the students? But in order to understand that, we need to understand how students perceive value. What do they understand? What do we mean by value here? We've done a lot of research in the element of value and the dimensions of value. And what we found is that from the student's perspective, there are these four things. The students, they look for strategic value, which translates to us from a customer experience to a career which is successful, not entering also only a job, but also making sure that in this career, you can actually develop it. You can develop that career to the very top. The other thing that they are looking is the economic value, debt and cost. How much money will I have to spend in order to get the best education that exists out there? And from the point of view of the Mohammed bin Salman College, what we are doing, we are playing in all these dimensions. In the strategic element, we have strong relationships with industry. We have strong relationships, strong partnerships, strategic partnerships with the industry, so that we can make sure that all our students, when they come and they graduate from our programs, they actually progress their career. And 95% of our students progress their career upon graduation. In the debt and cost, in the economic value, what we are doing is not simply charging a fee, but finding ways in partnership with our students to make it easier for them. We are working with companies that sponsor our programs. We are working with banks that provide fees for our programs, with loans to students for our programs. And we are working, of course, to support students that cannot afford the education. The other one is the behavioral. And the behavioral dimension, what it is here is treatment. How do you treat your customers? How do you treat your students? Are they customers? Are they consumers of knowledge simply? Or are they partners? And when I talk about partners, we view our students as co-creators of knowledge. They work with us to create knowledge, not simply absorb knowledge. And that makes it a totally different experience. That's exactly what we are doing at the Mohammed bin Salman College by engaging the students in this creative process, writing articles with us, writing case studies with us, in many cases, having a flipped classroom experience where the students stand up and they deliver what they know about a specific field. And that's how we start, the knowledge process. And finally, the operational, which is again, here, the whole experience of coming to campus, engaging with the programs, engaging with the faculty, and so forth. From a perspective of strategic, perspective, the reason why we are doing all these things is because, we want to differentiate. We want to be different. We want to provide value above and beyond of what the various institutions abroad, not only in Saudi, but abroad, provide to our students. And this is the differentiation that the experience that we are talking about can create, for all the companies. So experience, is not simply, we're not looking at experience simply for the sake of experience, but we are looking at experience because it becomes part of the learning process. Like in the industry, experience becomes part of the product or the service that the customers consume. It's not only a means to get to the product or to the service, they actually consume the experience. And in many cases, the satisfaction doesn't lie onto the product or the final service, but in the experience. That's how we see the whole thing. And from the point of view of the way we envisage the student experience in the college, we take it from the very beginning, from what makes you, our students, aware of the college, of the things that we are doing there. How do we develop? To then getting them in, participating in the learning experience, delivering part of that learning experience, and then helping them to enhance their career and so forth. And we know through many, many studies that a positive student experience leads to higher graduation rates. Students do not fail, they get better marks, they are more satisfied, they become more creative, and they have higher chances of satisfaction in life. Overall, as we talk from the point of view of the Vision 2030, they become better citizens, they become more productive, but above all, they become more satisfied, they become happier citizens, which is very, very important. I will conclude by showing you, very quickly what we are doing in the process of admissions. So, like all the things that you've heard earlier about customer experience, we follow a process. We make sure, that everyone in the organization is engaging in that process. The students have to go through various steps. But based on the vision of the institution that we have, to be the elite institution in the country, to be a top international institution, we follow that vision that we have and the mission of the college, and that's how we develop those stages. And the one that I circled there, with a red dotted line, is the point where every student that is admitted to the Mohammed bin Salman College in Saudi, they have to go through an interview process with a faculty member. Now you appreciate how many applicants we have and how many of those interviews we have to go through. But we strongly believe in that because it is this interaction with the faculty that actually is part of the experience. The applicant is already a learner. They haven't joined the college as yet, but already they are part of the learning process. So what we do there, we do actually have the internal dashboard. The dashboard helps us with the interviews. And why I put these interviews up, the parts of the interview, the things that we evaluate, the criteria that we use, because I wanted to make sure, that I show to you how the two things link together. What we are looking for the Mohammed bin Salman College may be different to what they are looking in another university. There's nothing wrong with that, because we are positioning strategically the way we want to position our college. And that may be different from another college, from another university, from an international institution. And that's what customer experience at the end of the day allows to an institution to position themselves strategically and therefore contribute to the Vision 2030, but at the same time compete nationally and internationally. So we are looking for things that have to do with the emotional intelligence. We want all our students to understand what emotional intelligence is, because they will participate. The courses are difficult. We want them, to be resilient. So, and of course, at the end of the day, we have the dashboard. We keep an eye on what is happening, how many students apply, how satisfied they are, and we can go back and we can actually adjust. But I want to close, with giving you, some of those things that really, really matter. From interviewing our students and engaging with our students in their experience, in the application process, what matters is a combination of the technology that we use in the process, but also the human touch. So what matters for them is the friendly admission staff. It matters when they have interviews with a faculty member and they can interact at a different level. It matters when they see, this admission process to be meaningful and relevant. They can actually say, yes, I need to put this information because I can see the use of that information. It's not giving information for the sake of having a big database. They appreciate the relevance. The student alumni network, again, part of the experience. And that's what sometimes when we talk about customer experience in the industry, we talk about not only the customer experience that you have in the interaction with a company or in the interaction with a service, but what's the customer experience that you have with the interaction with other customers? How this network that we have, the alumni network here, allows us as Mohammed bin Salman College to add value to our programs above and beyond the curriculum. And of course, the speed of response, very, very important. So again, I'm talking about strategic elements, here, and how we use customer experience to position ourselves. But of course, as the different universities will follow, different ways. So which way are they going to go? And the only way, to choose the way of the university that it will position them is to look at their strategy, to look at their vision and mission. Everything that they do, every element of the customer experience, of the student experience, be it a private institution or a university, it has to be aligned to the vision and mission of the company. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And whatever we do from the point of view of the Mohammed bin Salman College is aligned to the Vision 2030 and, of course, to the mission and vision of our own institution. So, forward-looking and forward-thinking in that domain, what can we do? I think couple of things, for me, universities, like any other organization that is trying to compete, that they compete for students, they compete for faculty, they compete for resources, they need to be different. They have to identify the point of difference. They have to identify what is the unique value proposition. But you need to be careful because, you can be different, but you have to be at the same time relevant and meaningful, because otherwise people will not understand what you are trying to do. We see students as partners in the college, as I said earlier, not as customers. We work with them in delivering knowledge. And that is something, again, from a point of view of customer experience, it will allow us as a country to develop many more new products, services that are relevant. The other big thing for us is distinctiveness with distinction. It's not good enough for us as an institution to be different or to be distinctive without distinction. And what I mean here is that our products and services is reflected in the best journals in the world. For example, we are doing research which is world-class. All of us have high citation rates. We are doing impactful research. And companies need to reflect on that. How can you create distinctiveness but with distinction? So, finally, for me, what we are all about here is a student experience that matters. And that's what we are actually, all of us working in the Mohammed bin Salman College. Thank you so much, and apologies again for the video. I think that it may be made available to all of you. Thank you so much.